Now at 6, watch out for your morning commute. It is a slick one out there. We're going to get you up to date with this snow, ice, and sleet coming up.
That's right, Matt. We do have a couple of crashes for your morning commute. Where they are, those details up next.
Fox 61, Connecticut's news station, starts with a weather impact alert.
6 o'clock on this Monday. Good morning to you. Thank you for waking up with us here on Fox 61 and Fox 61 Plus. I'm Symphony Privet.
And I'm Tim Lammers. Good morning, everybody. We've got weather to talk about, as you're probably aware. This is some video our crew got this morning in Hartford's Bushnell Park. It is a nice light snowfall, but it's causing some problems on the roads, and there's at least the chance those problems could get worse. By the way, closings and delays on the bottom of your screen. At last check, 200 delays, 4 closings, all in Waterbury. Matt Scott, not a surprise there considering how hilly it is.
No, not at all. And you know what, Tim? I have said this before on when we have mornings like this. Sometimes having just a little bit of a mess could be a bigger problem than having just a widespread snow. This, don't think for a second that this is manageable. A lot of untreated roads, a lot of the side roads, the hills, as you mentioned a moment ago, they're not pretty. And that's going to be the problem all morning long, because for most of us, we are under freezing. Here's your weather impact alert, talking now between now and 9 o'clock. Got some precip coming through. It is mainly snow, some sleet in there, and then on the shoreline, it's just about all rain. But it is slippery everywhere, so you need to allow yourself some extra time. Here's the current scene, and again, most of this just a little decent snow across just the midsection from about I-84 over into the northern part of New London County. We're going to start the tour with the live view. Here's Hartford. Some very light activity in comparison to, say, what you see down on Route 2, leaving Glastonbury, heading over into East Hampton, Colchester. You've got some moderate snowfall. It's not bad up in the Litchfield Hills, but it doesn't take much to cause trouble. But at least it is getting lighter, and we are starting to see the back edge start to enter the state. Now, along the shoreline, it turns over into rain, and a decent amount of it along Long Wharf. Some moderate rainfall right now. If you're heading southbound on 95 or the Wilbur Cross, you're going to run into mostly rain, but again, be mindful for a little bit of a mixing in. I mentioned it back end. You can see this does not last for a long time, so we'll get that out of the way by about 8, 9 o'clock. Temperatures remaining under freezing, and that's going to be the issue. Again, looking for just a coating, but possibly a little ice in there as well, adding to the slick spots out there, so be mindful for that. All right, Rachel Piscatelli standing by with a look at the roads, and yeah, not a great way to start a Monday, start a new week.
No, absolutely not, Matt. I did not like the way the roads were looking at 4 and 5 o'clock this morning. It does look like some plows have kind of passed through a lot of our interstates this morning, so we can see a little bit more blacktop than we did in the last hour. But we do have this crash to tell you about over in New Haven this morning on 95 northbound out by exits 46 and 47. 1 lane blocked. This is a 1 vehicle crash. Live look outside over in Windsor. An earlier crash has cleared for the morning commute. Did look like that car had slipped off the roadway. You can see a little bit more blacktop out there this morning. And also the same goes for Cromwell on 91. There is some activity to the right lane on that northbound side this morning. And we also are looking at our drive times. They are slow. The volume is light at this hour, but just given the fact that there are slippery and tricky spots, give yourself some extra time and watch those speeds. Tim and Symphony, good morning.
Okay, thank you so much. As we said, dozens upon dozens of schools are opening late this morning across the state, including Hartford Public Schools.
Yeah, Fox 61's Angelo Bavaro is in Hartford. Now, Angelo, what are the conditions looking like right now?
Hey, good morning, guys. So things are not too bad right now. Things have calmed down in terms of the snowfall. Just about an hour and a half ago, we saw these really big wet snowflakes coming down. Right now, it looks like we're dealing with the freezing rain, but the evidence of what we saw just about an hour ago overnight, that is still on display everywhere. I was surprised walking out the door this morning just how much snow there was. Again, this is nothing crazy, but enough to make that morning commute really tricky, and that's on display as you look at these roads. So this is the intersection of Lawrence Street, Flower Street, and Capitol Avenue. Plows have been coming back and forth through here. You can see all that blacktop, but it's very slushy, very wet. We have some areas, especially those side streets, that are still covered in snow. So you want to take it nice and slow, just echoing what everybody has said. I was going like 20 miles, 15 miles per hour max this morning coming in from downtown Hartford along Route 184, and even that was snowy. There was snow, a thin layer, but just enough to be a nuisance. We have some cars coming by here, and it's really slushy out here, also slippery in some spots as well. So take a look at my boots. We have this thin layer of snow that is built up in this parking lot here. In some spots, it is slippery as you step by, so that's something else you want to take into consideration. And the last thing, give yourself some time. Again, it is a bit of a nuisance getting through this stuff, and waking up this morning, maybe you're surprised by how much snow there is, and there's also snow building up on these cars, so you want to get those snow brushes out, you want to get this stuff removed, and that takes some time heating up those cars. Just give yourself some extra time, nothing too crazy out there, but just go slow, take it nice and easy. We're live in the capital city this morning. I'm Angelo Bavaro, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Angelo, thank you. Stay safe out there. Well, after 4 decades, the Wallingford Police Department is moving out of downtown.
And as Fox 61's Jamel Johnson reports, it's headed to a bigger, more modern space. And the department said it is not a problem that it's no longer centrally located.
This was the building of the Wallingford Police Department for 40 years, located at 135 North Main Street in downtown. And now, after over a decade of shopping around for a suitable place to move, they find themselves here at 100 Barnes Road.
Process of moving out of their old building started back in 2007, and it wasn't until 2020 when the department narrowed down their search to the new facility at 100 Barnes Road. It's a state-of-the-art facility, one with various technological improvements, more space and rooms for different divisions, and a modern booking space. We spoke with Wallingford Mayor Vincent Cervoni to see if the new move will have any effect on the response times to downtown Wallingford.
For decades, our police have been on mobile patrols. They are not on-call dispatched from the building. They are dispatched from their vehicles while on patrol. Response time to calls is not going to be increased at all as a result of the move. The new facility at 100 Barnes Road off of Route 68, much quicker access to the west side of town as well. Certainly a more central location.
Now, I did speak with Officer Alex Torres, and he mentioned that there had been some talks about installing some type of a substation downtown to kind of ease any concerns that people may have who either live downtown or frequent downtown Wallingford, but those talks are still a work in progress. In Wallingford, Jamel Johnson, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Alrighty, thanks to Jamel for that package. Now, if you haven't already started your holiday shopping, you've got 9 days to go before Christmas and the start of Hanukkah. Fox 61's Stefan Reels shows us what kind of gifts were snatched up at Hartford's Union Station this past weekend.
We are smack dab in the middle of holiday shopping season, and with only 1 week to go and some of the busiest days of shopping ahead this week, people are getting what they can before they head home for the holidays. You can see it at places like the Winter Fair at Hartford Union Station coming into the holidays. The National Retail Federation estimated spending would go upwards of 3.5%, and more shoppers have chosen to shop in person than online compared to 2023.
My train's running a few minutes late, so I thought I'd pop in, and so far I'm leaving with 2 candles. I got everything out of the way earlier, but absolutely busier than other years that I've seen.
Now, if you want to spend your last few days shopping smart, you might want to do it over the next few days. This coming Friday will start 4 of the busiest days for shoppers this year, according to Business Wire, with Saturday being the busiest, right behind Black Friday. In the studio, Stefan Reels, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Stefan, thank you. Fire crews in Simsbury spent most of the weekend battling a stubborn fire on Hot Meadow Street. Firefighters said they first saw flames coming out of the first floor of a 3-story commercial building Saturday night. And while they tried tackling it inside the building, crews got forced back out several times because of how intense the flames were. We know one firefighter had minor injuries, and they did say parts of the building collapsed in multiple places. The Simsbury Fire Marshal's office is still investigating how it started. Well, now that those mysterious drones that keep getting seen in New Jersey are starting to get national attention, a lot more people are starting to look to the skies and notice drones flying overhead, including a lot of people here in Connecticut.
Yeah, state police say drones have been seen and reported across the state. Now, this all comes after several reports of drone activity, as we just said, in New Jersey and in New York. Now, in response, Connecticut state troopers have deployed a drone detection system to help investigate. Right now, it is set up in the Groton, New London area. Senators Richard Blumenthal and Chris Murphy have also joined calls for a full investigation.
Yeah, Senator Blumenthal said the military should get any unidentified objects out of the sky by any means necessary. Ted Lindner has more.
It's not a bird, it's not a plane, it's a drone.
Dozens of drone sightings, mostly in New Jersey and New York since last month, continue to stir up questions across the country, and especially in Congress.
The answer we don't know is not a good enough answer.
Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas says there's no evidence the drones are linked to foreign interference, but little else is known about them.
It's remarkable, with all these sightings over the last while, why do we have more questions than answers?
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says a new bill is on its way that could help provide more clarity to the growing mystery.
I'm going to co-sponsor legislation that will combat these drones in a better way by allowing local police departments and state police departments to help the feds in sighting these drones.
Schumer says there's already technology available, such as the Robin radar system, that is capable of detecting unknown drones.
We're asking the DHS, the Department of Homeland Security, to deploy special detection systems like the Robin, which use not a linear line of sight, but 360-degree technology that has a much better chance of detecting these drones.
The system can read a drone's electronic registration to follow it to a landing location, something Schumer says local and state authorities currently do not have access to.
This legislation will get them the help.
Meanwhile, New York Governor Kathy Hochul says federal officials are already sending drone detection systems to the state to help support ongoing investigations. Ted Lindner, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.